Welcome back. So today I wanted to talk about the big weekend coming up for the World of Outlaws at the Knoxville Raceway for races number 16 and 17 of their 2025 season. Before I did get into it, I did want to mention, sorry about the lighting kind of on this side of the board. I'm not really sure what's going on outside, but the lighting is just not very good in here today. Also, did want to mention that I will not be having a video more than likely out tomorrow or Friday. A lot of us with High Limit Racing are making our way over to Indiana to help with the new, brand new tractor trailer. The new command center is arriving over at the High Limit headquarters in Brownsburg. So I'm going to head over there and get things prepared in the new trailer before we get back racing on the 30th. So we'll not be having a video on Thursday or on Friday as well. But we'll probably talk next week about what we see this weekend from these two races over at the Knoxville Raceway. If you are not familiar, taking place in Knoxville, Iowa at the half mile, the sprint car capital of the world, as they call it. You'll be able to watch all of this racing on dirtvision.com. Don't know exactly when the broadcast will start, but I'm sure you have the ability to look it up on Twitter and Facebook. So looking at the forecast, it's a little bit iffy right now, especially on Saturday night. On Friday, it is a high of 60 degrees, a low of 39, and the rain chances just 17% on Friday afternoon. And then on Saturday, it's once again a high of 60 degrees, a low of 41, and the rain chances spike up to 40%. So that 40%, though, is at nighttime. The 17% on Friday is during the daytime. So Saturday, not exactly looking very good, which may affect some of the travel plans for some of these guys over here on this side of the board, which we'll talk about here more in just a few moments. Now, both main events will be $12,000 to win and $1,200 to start. The estimated car count for right now, I've been talking to Johnny Gibson here a little bit over the last day or two, and on his list right now, he had 73 or 74 cars. I have messaged a couple of the guys, and they have told me that they are not coming. So I'm going to go in the range to 60 to 70. Last week at I-55, there were 62. Would not be shocked if that number was higher this weekend at the Knoxville Raceway. The last 5 winners here on the board with the Outlaws at Knoxville, and these are the winners of the races that are not at the Knoxville Nationals, because that event has a way different format than what you would normally see with the Outlaws on their regular nights. And so I felt like it wouldn't really make much sense to add the winners of prelim nights of the Nationals, the winner of the finale. I'm putting the races that are just normal Outlaw formats in this little section of the board. The latest winner with the series was June 15th. Last year, that was Corey Day who got the win. David Gravel won the night before on June 14th. He also won on June 10th of 2023. And then Brian Brown has won 2 of those last couple of races as well. June 9th of 2023 and June 11th of 2022. So Brian Brown and David Gravel have won 2, I'll make that 4, I guess, of the last 5 normal Outlaw shows here at the Knoxville Raceway, with Corey Day getting the other one in the Jason Myers Racing 14. He will not be there this weekend, as I believe he's running the Xfinity race, right, at Rockingham, so he will not be there this weekend. Now, looking at the point standings after last weekend at I-55 for the Outlaws, David Gravel, of course, still shows the way. 2,126 points. Carson Macedo is in second. He is minus 64, but as you can see there right in the middle of the board, he did make up 14 points over the weekend at I-55, and Logan Short also made up 14 points on David Gravel. He is now minus 74 in the third position. Buddy Kofoid is fourth in points, minus 128, and he lost 22 points on the weekend at Peevely. Sheldon Hodenshield, minus 180. He also lost 14 points to David Gravel in this championship after the 2 nights at I-55. Now, down here, usually I have a stat or have something going on that's kind of, a little bit different each and every time. And today I did want to talk about somebody that is not here, he's not there, he's not over here, and that is going to be Gio Scelzi. I think that he is definitely a guy that has an incredible shot to win one of the races this weekend. If you were paying attention to the channel yesterday, I put out a video talking about 15 guys to watch for going into this weekend. 5 from the Outlaws, 5 from High Limit, and 5 from the Invaders or the Knoxville Regulars. Gio Scelzi was also not in that video, and I'm starting to think that maybe he should have been when looking at his last couple of finishes. He was second on the finale of the Knoxville Nationals last year. He got the win on his prelim night. He was second at the Capitani Classic, and then he was third during a weekly show there as well in 2024. Those are the last 4 Knoxville Raceway finishes for Gio Scelzi. We know that his team has a ton of sponsors in that Knoxville area. We know how much Gio really appreciates going to that racetrack and know how much he loves running there. And I feel like last year when I was at the Nationals, I was making videos here on the channel, after he won that prelim night, I think I put out a video that was titled, like, is he the guy to beat for the Knoxville Nationals? Of course, we know that Kyle Larson would go on to win, but Gio was right behind him. He drove from 5th to 2nd in that feature and wasn't able to challenge Kyle, but he was easily the best human that was on the racetrack that night. And so we will see what he is able to do this weekend. I figured I would put him down there because I haven't talked much about him yesterday or in this, I wasn't going to talk about him in this video unless I made that little section for him. And I think he definitely deserves to have a little bit of the spotlight here in this video. Now, looking at the list of drivers that is going to be there, according to the web or the list that Johnny Gibson had sent me, we've got a lot of drivers from High Limit Racing that are planning on being there. Now, I'm going to say this, but remember back to this over here, the forecast with 40% chance of rain. That might scare a couple of guys away. Although I feel like when you go to Knoxville, you got obviously Dingus across the street. Knoxville's just a fun place to be, so they might just go there anyways just to have a good time in case it does rain out. But here is the list of high limit guys that we are expecting to be there. Tyler Courtney, of course, in the 7BC. Brad Sweet will be racing in the Napa 49. Justin Peck in the Rudine 26. Rico Abreu in the 24. Dason Persley is supposed to be there. We'll see what the weather does with that team. The 87, of course, of Aaron Reitzel. The 5 of Brenham Crouch. The 9 of Chase Randall. And the 14 of Spencer Baston. All those drivers from High Limit are supposed to be there. I did message Danny Sams, Tanner Thorson. Those 2 guys will not be there. Cy Lynch also will not be there. I am curious about Casey Kane. I did not send a message to him. He was not on Johnny's website, but we'll see if Casey Kane maybe shows up for that one. And then in the middle, I was trying to break this down like I did for last week's preview into different sections of drivers. This one gets a little bit murky, though, because there's not really a exact science to it. So I'm just going to go right through here. A lot of Midwest traveling teams in this section. Obviously, we know that it's going to be the debut for Darren Pittman behind the wheel of that Lundstrom Motorsports number 3. Cameron Key in the Beaver Drill and Tool number 12X. The 3 of Ayrton Geniton. The 6K of Caleb Johnson. 88, last year's Knoxville Raceway champion, Austin McCarl. The 10 of Ryan Timms. We discussed both of those drivers yesterday on that video. The 5, it's going to be the season debut, of course, for Parker Price Miller and the Guy Forbrook machine. They will be running for points this year at the Knoxville Raceway. The 2KS of Corey Eliason, the 21 of Brian Brown, the 55 of Kerry Madsen, the 27 of Carson McCarl, the 31 car, that is the McGarry Racing 31, driven by Kyle Bellum. I believe they are supposed to run for points this year at Knoxville. Of course, Kyle Larson will be there as well in the Silva Motorsports 57. Emerson Axum in the 27. A big weekend coming up here for the Tarleton Racing 21. That is Tanner Holmes, of course. They have been lights out so far this year against really stout competition, but now going to probably the toughest field they've seen all year. And Tanner Holmes, not a ton of experience. Obviously, he's been there the last couple of years, but I am very curious to see how this looks for them this weekend. If they can make the show both nights, if maybe they can run top 15 or top 10 one of the nights. We'll see what Tanner Holmes can do. The 32 of Bryce Lucius and the 45X of Landon Crawley will be there as well. Those are the drivers that have magnets for. Guys I don't have magnets for that you can expect to be there. And some of these guys are running for points over there at Knoxville Raceway. Dusty Zomer in the 3J. You got JJ Hickle in the Moro 2M. I am very excited to see how that pairing will run this year at Knoxville. That car is very, very good. And I think JJ Hickle is a more than capable driver of putting that car in the show and running well this year. The 24T of Christopher Traum, 49J Josh Schneiderman, the 78. Now, this is one I want to watch for as well. That's Scott Boguski. Remember, the 25 car, where is the magnet? The 25, the Eikenberry 25 is no more, but basically this is going to be kind of a clone car, kind of, I guess, for them. It's going to be the number 78, and we know how good the Eikenberry 25 gets around Knoxville, and Scott Boguski did drive that car a couple of times, but now this is the Giddings Motorsports number 78 car. Should be their first race together, I believe, or maybe their second race, actually. Maybe it's their second race, but Either way, also the Phillips brothers, Tasker and Sawyer, and the 1K of Kelby Watt. I did not have enough room to write the rest of the drivers, but some other guys you could expect to see, maybe Ben Brown or Jacob Hughes or Matt Jewell. A couple other guys could maybe show up as well, but going to be a really, really solid field of cars. There could be some other guys that I don't have on the board that could be showing up as well. I'm not saying I got everybody on there, but yeah, that's a pretty strong field of cars, just like we saw last week at the I-55 Raceway in Peevely, Missouri. So yeah, should be a good weekend. Obviously, this is an important weekend for these drivers and teams to get themselves some extra laps at Knoxville before the Nationals later on this year, and we will see who is able to reign supreme. Obviously, you can add in the 15 World of Outlaws teams as well to that list I just mentioned there off the top there. So let me know your thoughts. Who do you think is going to get the win at Knoxville Raceway? If you want to listen to me a little bit more, talk about some guys that'll be fast, go back to yesterday's video and check that out. I appreciate all of your support. Make sure to hit subscribe, hit the like button as well, and we will talk to you guys again here, not tomorrow, not Friday, but more than likely Monday on the Rodman Rundown.